you. I'm actually on Team Gen X. I am a millennial. It's okay, I got it. Oh, thanks, thank you. I'm on Team Gen X. I am a millennial, but I'm on Team Gen X because I have the voice of a child who was neglected. Also, like a millennial, I don't like in-person conflict. I prefer to argue over a computer, so I made a PowerPoint. So this was my first PowerPoint because it's really a 90s kind of thing, PowerPoint. But hold on. Did I do it? I didn't do it.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay, Generation X. A dying breed. That's all for that. That's pretty much self-explanatory. Those are Generation Xers. Inspirational quotes from Generation X. Generation X, or whatever we were called, we were not being nurtured. We didn't have Obama, we didn't have Bill Clinton, we didn't have any politicians that you could look up to, nor did we have parents. That's from Brett Morgan, Man with No Parents. I don't know anything else about it. Millennials, they owe it all to Gen X. Okay. When you don't have parents like Brett, you never have to grow up. So Generation X is like the Peter Pan generation. They made youth a forever thing. And so that's their gift to millennials. Generation X made it acceptable to skateboard into adulthood, which should not be acceptable. The young, neglected nerds of the 80s flocked to the internet, learned to code, and made it possible for bloggers to make a living talking about their feelings. That was a brave move. David Bowie, the New Romantics, brought androgyny into the mainstream, paving the way for the rebranded gender fluidity of millennials, who are unique AF. But they actually weren't the first to be that way. Let's see. Oh, a Generation X-plained. You guys saw what I did there. That was really proud of that. Okay. Generation X is widely known as the generation nobody gives a fuck about. So if they wanted to get noticed, they had to really stand out. They were so ignored. I need to move this way. They were so ignored that Generation Xer Jonathan Larson had to write a full-scale musical to get people to care that Gen Xers were dying of full-scale AIDS. Okay, I thought that would get a laugh. Made me laugh at home. Most generations have to wait until they're like 80 or 90 to be ignored the way the Generation Xers were from childbirth. This inspired them to make the best of a shitty situation, whereas millennials can make the best situations extremely shitty. You just look at the internet for that. Since society didn't care about Generation X, they had to care about each other. So this made them selfless, kind, and communal, while millennials are known for being generally the worst, but way more successful. Friends, the show that was written about that time in your life where your friends are your family, that was written by Generation Xers, but millennials got all the credit because they learned how to make a BuzzFeed article. Okay. The Forgotten Children. These are more, that's actually Christian. Right there. You can see all right. Generation X's have been treated as an afterthought, an enigma, the middle child between two larger generations that are more important. Which is why so many of them turned to the least respectable profession known to man and became DJs. That is a true fact. That is a thing that I looked up today, that they are actually the most popular and top-grossing DJs in the world, but it's still very, very sad that it had to come to that. So, since millennials are the generation that cares so much about the underdog, they really, they don't buy fresh dogs anymore. They always get the rescue ones. This is a whole generation of rescue dogs, and I feel like a true millennial would open their heart to them and take them into their home, because they're very sad. I don't know if argued for us or against us. I don't know what happened. I really don't. I blacked out. But this was fun. All right.